Hello, this is Sarah and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make paper orchids to turn into a graduation lei. Please like this video below and subscribe to my channel. All the materials and the template will be linked below the video. The template is a print and cut file, and you could have it cut through the Cricut, Silhouette, or other cutting machines, and you can print and hand cut them. The pattern is pretty easy to hand cut for those that don't have a cutting machine. I cut about 24 orchids, and you could do more or less. When you have a few cut, you could stack them up and work in increments of 4 and shape them in the stack, starting with the shape that has 3 petals. I curl them in each petal, and I go back and slightly open it back up and curl the tips out. Then you do the same shaping to the pattern that has 2 petals. Curl it in and curl the tips out. Next, for the center, I curl the whole piece like a cylinder. Then go back to the pattern with 2 petals and glue that on top of the pattern with the 3 petals. Then I like to gently force the petal up and do this to the stack you are working on. Next, glue the sides of the bigger side of the center. Then bring up the smaller tab and roll up so it looks like a cylinder. This part is different from the original orchid tutorial. If you want to just make these paper boat orchids just as a flower, I would naturally just add the center on top, but for the graduation lei, I will be using the center as my divider between the flowers, so I bunch up the center to make it look like a cylinder. Then flatten the bottom and glue that to the center and repeat this as many as you need. I will be making 24 orchids for about 3/5 of the lei and adding ribbon on the top part of the lei. I'll be linking the original boat orchid tutorial if you want to just make them with the stem and add to your paper flower bouquet. Next will be the ribbon part. I saw so many of these braided ribbon leis, but I wanted to mix both the orchids for the traditional look and the braided ribbon will be going around the back of the neck, and thought it was a nice way to add the school colors. You will need 2 sets of 2 ribbon, a total of 4 ribbon. I paired the thicker blue ribbon with the thinner red ribbon and loop it, leave about 10 inches on the back, and the front of the loop will be the ribbon that we'll be using to braid. You could use a clip to help get you started by keeping the loop in its place. The other pair will have the same loop, but it will go diagonally into the first loop. Then keep the clip together to help get it started. Then take the front side of the loop, which will be the long side, and make another loop and string that into the other loop, and you will now be braiding the ribbon with the loops. I also like to tighten the loop after, but just tight enough to hold up the ribbon and not make the ribbon scrunch up, but trying to keep it flat. This part is optional. You can just make the orchids and go all the way around, but the ribbon was a nice way to include the school colors, and I will also show you how to personalize it with the name and the year once the braided part is done. Once you get to the end, you could just fully bring up the ribbon and tie a bow, but don't ruin the braided area. I tried to tie the ribbon tight, but leaving the braids alone. Then go back to the side we started and take the clip out and tie another bow on this side, and again try not to ruin the braids. Next, I take yarn with the needle and tie a knot and sew it through the bow and poke it through the orchid and string the orchids one by one. The center should stop the flowers and helps create this gap between the flowers. Some flowers may be hard to sew through because of the hot glue in between, so make sure to use a longer and stronger needle. Once you get close to the length you want, you could attach it to the other bow on the other side and tie a knot to secure. Next, I added another thicker ribbon only on one side and made a bow. Then I had the name and the year cut on gold vinyl sticker, then added that to each ribbon side. You could customize these in different color ribbon that matches your school or theme. I also have a few graduation cap decorating tutorials I'll be linking below that will go well with this lei. Try making them yourself. Please like this video below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.